Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm just glad I get a break from the wife and kids today, man. How are you?
I didn't know you had a wife and kids, so that's a revelation. What did you get a break? Did you kill them or something?
Why don't you just shut up?
All right. I wanted to get into our first topic here, and that's how only losers use Twitter. Do you have a Twitter?
I used to have a Twitter, actually, and then I realized that I needed to actually pay attention to work, and so I don't have one anymore.
I remember when you had a Twitter. I also had one at the same time in college, and I had spent years building a following on Twitter by setting my location to small towns across the U.S. And then I automatically, since I had a few thousand followers, I automatically looked like I was the king of any city that I went in. So if I set it to like Bloomington, Indiana, some small town, no one has 1,000 followers. I was a god. And anything I posted basically trended there. So I just gained followers. And they fixed that now. You can't do it.
Oh, that's a shame. I was about to leave this podcast and start doing that.
I remember one time you tweeted, I've been drinking at like 3 a.m, and I think that was probably your Twitter peak.
Yeah, man, I had been drinking heavily.
But you don't have one anymore. That's why I was asking, because I don't have one anymore.
No, yeah, it's just not the same, I guess. I don't know. It was fun in college, but now it's just very annoying.
Yeah, Twitter used to be really funny, but now it's all, like, teenage girls who believe that, like, murdering police in the street cures transphobia somehow. I don't understand, but that's like, what it seems to be. They basically think that if you're not, like, an authoritarian left commie, you're, like, an alt-righter at this point.
Yeah, we've got some extreme middle schoolers going on Twitter right now. It's kind of scary.
Dude, the 16-year-old girls run everything.
They really do, man. My boss is a 16-year-old girl. Fancy that.
The future is female, and it's because you're going to get canceled by them if you're not.
Damn them and their Ugg boots.
Yeah. I don't know. People just say whatever they want on there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's no downside to saying whatever you want anymore, right? Like, before the internet, you would... Okay, so let's say you and I had a disagreement, and the year is, I don't know, 1780. So, all right, you talk some shit, and I get it 3 weeks later, and I'm like, oh, fuck you. And so I send you a response letter, and it goes, all right, fuckface, we're going to fight to the death. Except, much more, I feel like just people in the 1780s spoke much more eloquently, so they were like, I challenge you to a duel, bitch.
If you could read and write back then, yeah, you were pretty eloquent.
Maybe that was it. There's a selection effect, you're right. Talking to a stats guy here. But now you say, like, whatever you want, right? And there's really no risk, It's like, just look at Twitter right now. It's like literally everyone just argues with each other. Like, the comment section is almost pointless at this point. And what's hilarious is that the platform itself, like, not even people's, like, decorum, but the platform itself is now like, all right, we got to step in. This is getting out of hand. People are just lying and, like, threatening each other, but there's never any follow-up. But what's crazy also is that, like, if you don't like that, okay, we've got two stages, right? Like, A, the decorum, and B, the platform. If you don't like either of those, then you can just pick a new platform. It's so American, but...
That's why I'm on Parler.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's kind of fucked up.
Follow me at Parler. My username is @ProudBoys. My real name is Enrique. I think that's the Proud Boy leader name is Enrique.
That's shocking. Yeah, it's Proud Boys with a Z, but I don't know. Maybe we should just go back to duels, right?
Proud Boys with a Z, 69_420. _ Bush to 9/11.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think they might kick Trump off Twitter after inauguration. They're not allowed to legally, I guess, because he's president.
What? Legally, they're not allowed to? How crazy is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, if you're a president, you can't get taken off. I could look into that more, but I don't know. But I saw a thing today that says after Inauguration Day, they might kick him off, which I think he's going to take that worse than an assassination attempt. frankly. He's going to be like, oh my God, I can't tweet?
Yeah, he's basically dead at that point. He is assassinated.
Do you know about the curse of Tippecanoe?
No, what's that?
The curse of Tippecanoe is it's like a pattern that U.S. presidents their deaths are divisible by 20 years. I don't really get it, but we haven't really had a lot of assassinations recently. But I don't understand why you would ever go canoeing at a place called Tippecanoe River. It's named after what happens to you. That's like going jogging at Killahiker Mountain.
It's just better than going hiking at Mount No Survivors.
Yeah, I would go there. Sounds nice.
It's quite scenic.
Presidential assassinations, though, I was looking into it the other day because I wanted to see if there were more or less assassination attempts than previously, and it looks like there's more attempts, but fewer successes, obviously. There was a period of time where Lincoln, Garfield, and McKinley were all assassinated within 36 years. So there was a presidential assassination every 12 years.
That's a terrible track record for just a country, right? Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine, a survey goes out to all the nations in the world at that time? It's like, how many presidents have been assassinated in the last 50 years? You're like, oh,
there's like, hey man, let's not talk about it. But yeah, I mean, assassinations were probably pretty common. I mean, when you think about feudalism, or as I like to call it, anarchy, anarcho-communism, or anarcho-capitalism are all actually just feudalism. Fun fact. That was it. People just killed each other for power. I don't really know much about the Lincoln assassination for some reason. I don't really know much about Booth.
Oh, man. Lucky for you, I just read that book on Lincoln. And let me tell you, no.
What book?
But I looked it up on the internet, and it is a fantastic story. So, Booth, John Wilkes Booth, he was an actor, right? And he was performing at the Ford Theater in D.C. I actually went to go see it. It was kind of cool. I mean, not really, but, something happened there. So, his posse, he had, a bunch of goons with him. They had originally planned on kidnapping Lincoln, but, how the fuck how would you pull that off? The dude was a giant, and he wore a huge hat. Could you imagine, the police pulling him over, sir, license and registration, what's that rustling going on in the back? Booth is like, nothing? And
yeah,
the cop is just like, is that President Lincoln? He's like, no. He's like, I can see this hat, man. You're going down. And Booth is like, damn, maybe I'm not much of an actor.
If you're gonna be kidnapping people, I think you got to put it on the ballot. Should we kidnap her? Should we kidnap him?
Yeah.
What book were you reading? Was it Bill O'Reilly's 2011 bestseller, Killing Lincoln?
That was it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because that's... Oh, seriously? You read Killing Lincoln by O'Reilly?
I read parts of it. I was trying to stay away from O'Reilly as much as possible, but he writes some pretty good nonfiction.
Listen to these books. Killing Crazy Horse, Killing the SS, Killing England, Killing the Rising Sun, Killing Reagan, Killing Patton, Killing Kennedy, Killing Lincoln, and Killing Jesus. Is this like an addendum to the Bible? Killing Jesus? What's his obsession with killing people? He's got a
theme there, right? It's like a Clive Cussler series right there. It's just like, all right, I'm killing someone. Guess who? You should just have a mystery book like killing, and you have to, show up and pick it out. So anyway, Booth shoots him in the back of the head, right? And then I'm assuming he does a perfect double backflip and he jumps on the stage. And the thing is, he breaks his leg as he jumps onto the stage because it's a fucking long jump after shooting the president. And he escapes though, but I want to say that if he hadn't broken his leg on that landing, I think he really would have nailed the ending dance number in Cats. It was actually the opening night of that musical, believe it or not, and all would have been forgiven. But he fucked it up, and then he had to escape to Maryland, where he was caught at a barn and shot in the neck. So I don't know.
Wow.
It all kind of worked out for Booth.
After Lincoln was assassinated, Garfield was assassinated. Do you know why Garfield was assassinated?
He hated Mondays.
No, he ate the lasagna, and it was just too much for him.
Oh.
But no, he was assassinated by actually a fellow Republican, and a supporter of his,
Really?
which is weird. So the guy was said to have had a narcissistic personality disorder, and he was upset that Garfield wasn't going to give him a position in the cabinet. Garfield spoke openly about ending the patronage system, which is where you install your political allies into positions of power.
Right.
And of course, we don't do that anymore.
Nope. Ew.
And then McKinley was assassinated after. He was killed by an anarchist. Fucking Antifa, right?
Damn. Historical roots.
Yeah. So the assassination of McKinley is probably the funniest, though. I got a quote here. Let me read this. So the guy's name I cannot pronounce either. So we'll just call him Antifa Representative 1. Antifa Rep 1 reached to the front of the line. McKinley extended his hand. Antifa Rep 1 slapped it aside and shot the president in the abdomen twice at point-blank range.
Oof.
The first bullet ricocheted off a coat button. A button?
Could you imagine?
What kind of bitch gun is this?
Jesus Christ.
It's no Predator missile. Patriot missile or whatever.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
So this gets even better, though. James Parker, a man standing directly behind Antifa Rep 1, struck the assassin in the neck and knocked the gun out of his hand. As McKinley slumped backwards, members of the crowd began beating Antifa Rep 1, and the president said, "Go easy on him, boys." So this guy, what a comical series of events. That would never happen today. It'd be a lot quicker. I think you wouldn't just be getting beat up and Trump's not like, "Oh, go easy on him." It's a totally different series. I think the Secret Service would step in. Did they have Secret Service then? Like, the crowd jumped in. That's community policing right there.
I think Trump would have been like, cut his dick off. That whole series is just like so Seinfeldian, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Like, the button, Jerry. It's just like, what are the chances? You know, like, I'm sure Reagan would have appreciated that sense of humor when someone shot him in the kidney.
Go easy on him, boys. Doom, 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 doom. Cuts away to the ending credits. Cuts over to Kramer, who's like, "Go easy on him, boys."
His face is like half shaven.
Oh, man. I think the assassinations, I wonder if the president knows some stuff. Did you see this thing from the Jerusalem Post about aliens and the president?
No, I usually check the Jerusalem Post every day, but I missed this one.
Oh, weird. I also I saw this from Drudge, so
Okay.
because I love Drudgy. So this is a good article. It says former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist and humanity is not ready. The Galactic Federation has supposedly been in contact with Israel and the U.S. for years, but are keeping themselves a secret to prevent hysteria until humanity is ready.
They are the chosen people.
I mean, like, by the aliens?
I mean, who's to say, right?
This is an amazing thing. The guy's 87. He's the former head of the Defense Ministry's Space Division. So he's legit, I guess. And there are people tying this to say that this is probably coinciding with Trump creating Space Force. And let me find the best part of this. So he says this cooperation between the U.S., Israel, and aliens includes a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. They don't let the Jews there. It's just Americans and aliens. And he said, this is another part. Well, first of all, how do we get to the base? Is Elon going? Can I go? He's South African. He's not American. So then from reading between the lines here, Elon has not been to the secret base. Maybe that's why he's trying to SpaceX. He wants to go there himself and be like, fuck you, I can show up anywhere. I'm Elon.
That would be very, very almost-y, right? Like, I think that's why he's been testing out those rockets. He saw that movie with Matt Damon about colonizing Mars, and he was like, all right, I can do that.
And he's on it. I mean, so this is my favorite part after it's hard to beat I feel like I say that all the time, like, oh, this is my favorite part, but check this one out. Ishad insists that Trump is aware of the aliens and that he was, quote, on the verge of disclosing their existence. However, the Galactic Federation reportedly stopped him from doing so, saying they wish to prevent mass hysteria. So apparently the only one who can get Trump to shut the hell up is aliens.
You know what? I don't believe... Okay, maybe I believe the whole Mars base thing, but I don't believe that Trump knew about it, because he definitely would have tried to pitch a Trump tower there. Like...
An underground base Trump tower?
Yeah, the first thing he would have done would be like, all right, okay, let's send Rudy. We need to get him on Mars immediately. Maybe that's what they were trying out with Elon. But yeah, I don't buy that at all, man.
The next election fraud hearing will be held on Mars. Exactly. Mars Cheese Castle. Like Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
That's right. On the border of Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, this guy though, this space chief guy, I don't know, it seems like he's trying to get some attention, maybe he's trying to make some money. He should just do what every washed up person does, just make a cameo.
Wait, what?
Cameo? Do you know
what's a cameo?
Oh, you don't know So Cameo.com is not a sponsor of the show. It's a website where you can go and find celebrities and like politicians and baseball players, athletes, whatever you want. And they, for a price, will make a video saying almost anything you want.
Anything?
Pretty much. I mean, they can deny it, but some of them will do pretty much anything. I saw one company, they had Snoop Dogg do an ad read for them on there, and then they used it in their ads, and he was like, this is not for commercial purposes. What are you doing? So they spent like $250 and got Snoop Dogg to be their rep, basically. Which you're not supposed to do. It's more to send your friend a thing like, oh, my friend loves this baseball player. I'll get him to say, congrats on beating lung cancer or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Okay, so it's like I want, I don't know, Matt Damon to sing happy birthday to my buddy.
Yeah, 100% like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was looking at it the other day, which is kind of why I'm thinking about it. I noticed that when you go on the page, you can scroll down and see what the example is going to be. So you can see an example of their video, which is quite shocking to see what like Lindsay Lohan looks like today. But I did that, and I noticed that when you scroll all the way to the right, there's a button that says join their fan club, which means you subscribe to it and you get to see all the videos they make for other people.
Whoa.
So to me, I thought fan club, this is like OnlyFans? Is this how celebrities are getting away with doing an OnlyFans? It's just them not nude saying happy birthday to people, and people are paying $215 a month to be in the fan club and jerk off to videos of Lindsay Lohan.
It's a very specific fetish.
I will not stand for accusations that people are not jerking off to these videos. I was looking through it because I was trying to find a gift for someone, and my biggest problem with Cameo is that it doesn't match up with what the person does, right? When you think about a baseball player, you're thinking about them on the field with a bat. It's cool, right? But that's not what they're doing in the video. It's just them on a lawn chair at their house trying to make a video. I looked at this one guy from Tiger King. They show a picture of him with a tiger, and I thought, oh, that's cool, you get him with a tiger. But then when you click on it and you look at the examples, it's him in a garage with a plastic skeleton Halloween decoration wearing a Christmas hat.
Not as cool.
$76. It's depressing.
76, huh?
I actually wanted to tell you, one of your favorite people is on there for $200.
Who?
Dr. Now. The doctor from My 600-Pound Life.
Get out.
Yeah, $200. You can get him to say anything you want.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you could get
guy.
him. You could get him to talk about Terminator and stuff if you wanted. You could be like, "We're going to terminate those last 40 pounds." That's what I'm hoping for.
I want him to say, "I love pound cake." I don't know why it's in a Terminator voice, but hey, I'm paying for it.
He would reject it. He'd be like, "I'm not doing a fucking Terminator voice."
Lose some weight.
His videos are good, though, because the examples are him with a stethoscope in the office. It's not just like him chilling with some, Halloween decorations, smoking cheap cigarettes.
Right.
It's good. I thought you would like his bio. His bio says, "The scale does not lie. People do." I want to hear someone refute that and be like, "Donuts don't kill. People do."
That's great, man. I feel like he'd be really good at as like an extra on Law and Order.
Yeah.
Like we're bringing in like the obstetrics, the obstetrics investigator. It's like he ate the donut, like, and they just.
We you get like Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad to tail him for a couple weeks. We saw you go to Long John Silver's. Do you know how much trans fat's in there? Doesn't hurt to have someone looking out for you, kid.
We've got your gender rights. You're going downtown.
You have to use like 6 sets of handcuffs to handcuff that person.
I don't know how this isn't a show. Like, We Have to Catch a Predator. Why don't they just like merge that, right, with this 600-pound life to like tail these people and be like, "Why the fuck did you eat that?" And they're like, "I didn't eat it." And they're like, "We have videotape of you eating it." And they just break down crying. Then they
what do you call it?
Perform lipo.
You call it To Catch a Fat Fuck? Oh yeah, they're like, "We've noticed that the person at the McDonald's drive-thru is in on it. They're a spy." They infiltrated the company 5 years ago. They've been working minimum wage and getting paid cash under the table through the drive-thru to catch you.
Oh, that's just Rick. No, it's not. Takes off like his fake mustache and the McDonald's logo.
I think this Mr. Now guy, though, he really highlights that it's kind of a missed opportunity for him because he's doing a really great job of highlighting all the problems with kind of our health system, even. Like that there's for some reason so much care for these people who are getting so fat. Do you think the food budget could... I don't know how you afford the food to get that fat and the surgery to lose the weight.
Well, that's the beauty of America, man. Like, we have enough disposable income to do whatever we want. We can literally gain 600 pounds and then have someone cut it off our bodies. And people in Somalia are like, "I wish I could do that."
Some of them do it twice.
Fuck,
they get
really?
the lipo... Yeah, they'll just, why not? I gained 600 again. Take them off.
It's like riding the roller coaster again.
Yeah. Every now and then you eat 1,200 pounds of food and it's okay.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's really impressive. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just kind of the beauty of the U.S. It's a shame that we didn't get our shit together for, something a little bit more serious that affected everyone, which was COVID. But, as long as we can help these fat people out.
Yeah, I think To Catch a Fat Fuck COVID edition would be great. They go around and they're like, they catch them putting on a mask and you find out it's actually a feeding trough for like a horse.
So gross. It's just like Bud Light and Doritos. But yeah, try cutting that out of them. But I will say, just on the subject of COVID, I feel like the
What's
U.S.
COVID?
What?
I haven't heard of that. What is that?
Oh, it's just like some big virus that's going around that's making everybody, well, not everybody, but like some people pretty afraid to just like go outside and interact with anyone else.
Yeah, I want to see like Tony Soprano learn about COVID. Like, COVID, what's that? Some kind of China virus or something?
That will be pretty good. But I will say, though, that I feel like we've kind of run out of people to fight after the COVID outbreak. You know, like, so about the same number of people right now are dying every day from COVID as did at 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, and like after 9/11, we like came together and, you know, George Bush like waved an American flag and rode a unicorn or whatever. And we fucked up Afghanistan, right? And after that, we were still kind of mad, right? We were like, we're not done.
We're pissed.
Yeah. And then we were like, Saddam, what are you doing? Don't look at me. And then we went into Iraq. Here's another example.
We're going after their friends. We're looking at Iran too.
Yeah, exactly. We won't stop. Pearl Harbor, you know, we crossed the entire Pacific Ocean just to fuck up Japan. And we fucked them up. The war on drugs, admittedly, that was more just to kind of like hurt black people. But without someone to take down from COVID, like without a finger to point, we're kind of falling apart here, you know? It's like the war on Christmas. Yeah. There's no battle of the Starbucks mug. There's no last stand on Happy Holidays Hill. So we kind of have to fight each other. Like, forever, you know? It's something that doesn't end. It's a never-ending war. So, I don't know. I guess this is all to say, who do we have to invade right now?
That's the beauty of the culture war. It's invaded your mind.
No, man. I want something to be destroyed after. I want to shoot a Patriot missile at someone. Someone needs to pay. But I just don't know who. I'm very frustrated.
I mean, what about Buzzfeed?
Dude, don't get me started on Buzzfeed. You know what?
Why?
You know how much I hate them.
We got time. I can get you started on it. What do you want?
All right, fine. We got time, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
You don't like quizzicals?
Dude, how close to brain dead do you have to be to work there and write a quote-unquote article? I mean, really?
I think they do they probably, like, need your, like, all your social media. They're like, we need to look at your Twitter. We need to see your Facebook. If you're not, you must be at least this woke to ride or something like that.
I think you need to be so brain dead that they ask you for the next of kin before they offer you the job in case they need to take you off the life support.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I remember we were talking about journalism in another episode, and you said that the only thing that really kind of passes as journalism nowadays is if you have something like top 10 Black Friday deals. The first thing I see on BuzzFeed is 44 best $10 last minute gifts. So by your definition, is that frustrating you even more that they're clearly listening and taking feedback?
That's not a part I really like, but it's just like every fucking article from it was like 26 things to buy your friends for Christmas, 32 pictures of Kim Kardashian that will make you go awooga, 329 ways to ask your parents for money, 5,634,000 pictures of brown potatoes. Like it never ends. It's just always another fucking article from one of these brain dead robots who's like, I went to journalism school, I went to Missouri. And it really frustrates me, man. I don't know if that's how you feel, but I hate BuzzFeed.
We should make a competitor to BuzzFeed that's like, our articles would be like top 5 CIA coups that furthered U.S. political and business interests.
I'd read that. It sounds a lot like the History Channel, but I'd still, I think as long as you package it as, here's a number and here's the description, people will read it. That's where we're at right now.
5 child traffickers who could have done more for their community.
You just got my click.
Boom. Be like, 5? I can only think of 3 off the top of my head.
I think the BuzzFeed website, too, is just it's a good example of how consumerist we all are. When every other video is about, and every other link is about things to buy or like what Amazon deals or what Wayfair is discounted. You can totally see how much we all buy into getting new shit all the time forever. Which I'm going to go ahead and enter. There's a little bit of a transition from BuzzFeed, but it's a commentary on the U.S. It's kind of evidence of us living in kind of a late stage capitalist society. Do you feel that way?
I mean, that those articles where they say, here's 10 things on Amazon. Yeah, that was organic. They were all sitting around and thought we should talk about Amazon. No one at Amazon paid for that. It's not organic in any way. It's just fake. But that's why I think That's what late stage capitalism needs, though. They need top 5 ways to gouge your workers this Christmas.
Yeah.
We can write that paper.
We can. That'll be our competing website. It's just like you go on BuzzFeed and it's like you just kind of see what you can buy in the U.S., which every other country probably hates us for. It's like glow-in-the-dark toilet paper. Why the fuck do you need that? Glasses with an angled mirror in them so you can read while lying down. Admittedly, I purchased this. Yep, and so have you.
I have those. They're great.
I think that's kind of the problem, though.
You saying we have to dismantle the whole system and I can't have those? That's kind of fucked up. I like them.
I hate those things, man. I never use them. They made me kind of nauseous, but it just I feel like it's just like that's the reason why everyone hates us, and kind of also the reason we're falling behind. We spend all our time on shit like BuzzFeed or Netflix, and honestly, I feel like if we didn't need to read the text description of whatever episode or product we would have to buy and put in our addresses, we would just totally forget how to read.
25% of all ISP traffic is Netflix.
25%? That's
yeah.
crazy.
When you look at data transferred, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
Just kind of makes you think, right? Like, thank God the Second Amendment isn't video form yet, or else we totally lose that too.
I know that you've said that that's why the rest of the world hates us, but I think that we hate ourselves more than the rest of the world does. We have our problems, right? But I think Americans are probably the ones who hate America the most. There's so many people who are like, I hate this country, it sucks. It's like, if you tried that in a lot of other countries to say that, they would take you out of the country by literally taking you out. So there's just a lot of stuff where the country's not perfect, but it's not a third world country. It's not hell on earth. We're getting worse, don't get me wrong, but at the moment we don't have to be sensationalists. It's not the worst country ever. I think other countries probably do hate us, but that's when you look at like an Islamic State-controlled country, they don't really know too much about us other than what the state-controlled media says about us. So it's kind of like a North Korea situation on a little bit less, though, where in North Korea, they hate America. They say, oh, Americans are the devil, but they don't really know. They've never been here. They've never come here. If you come here, you're not going back, so...
Yeah, man, that's a good point. There's a certain lack of perspective from those living here and also those living outside of here, right? Like all these 16-year-old girls on Twitter, just like, this place sucks, kill the cops, and you're like, well,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I feel like certain parts of the world are not as good.
The other thing too that I would say is like, if you think that we look so bad on the world stage, then why are we even debating immigration? Keep everyone out, because according to you, nobody would want to come here anyway. So just agree with the right wing. But no, people want to come here because they like it here. They hear good things because we don't have a terrible reputation necessarily worldwide. I think that, if anything, we're probably improving our reputation by showing that we can come back from a divisive leader like Trump and elect someone else and peacefully transfer it over. So far, I'm saying this on December 15th, 2020, it looks like it's going to be peaceful so far. I haven't had to put anything on my Parler yet, so it's looking good.
Yeah, I've been checking the Proud Boys Parler pretty frequently, and it seems like you're keeping the lid on it. That's your handle, remember?
Right. But no, I think that we are not as bad as people here think we are, and that may not also be the worst thing. Maybe we hold ourselves to a high standard, and we live in a nation where people are hyperbolic and they say, this is the worst day ever, I hate my life, when they stub their toe. So, if we can get that same energy around this country sucks and maybe, actually, improve some things, iterate on it, then that's not that bad. But I just think that it's just our hyperbolic nature to overblow everything.
Matt Warren-Katz, putting things in perspective. That's a good way to end the show. Anything else you want to talk about, man?
No, I just want to wish you a happy 6th night of Hanukkah. Did you get any good gifts? Did Jewish Santa bring you anything under the menorah?
Hell yeah, brother. I got some oven mitts from Jewish Santa. How about you?
He gave me AIDS. But it was worth it.
Fuck.
And on that note, everybody, Thank you all very much. I'll be updating you all on my AIDS treatment that I got from Jewish Santa next episode. We're going to have some hot topics coming up that Steve is going to use those oven mitts to take out of the hopper real carefully. So that's it for me. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Subscribe or die.